I've not seen such bravery.
So originally I was gonna open this video with a skit. It was short and not very funny, so you're not really missing anything, but instead I'd like to talk about something else. I'm an uncle. I just want to take a moment to welcome my nephew into the world. Oliver, maybe one day you'll watch this and think, you know what, my uncle was just as lame back then as he is today. And you'd probably be right. Now stop hogging the video, go play with your time machine, hover bike, or whatever the kids are into in the future. I've got video games to talk about. RuneScape was my first MMORPG experience. Though I don't know my exact account creation date, I do know that it was at least 10 years ago, as I was able to get the 10-year veteran cape, and I know that I've played for a total of 874 hours. That might not be impressive to some dedicated WoW players, but it absolutely destroys any game on my Steam Most Played list. And after mentioning it in some other videos, and in celebration of my 50th brutalmoose episode, it's time I finally talked about the game I used to love so much. To clear things up, I'm not going to be talking about this. This is RuneScape 3, nor will I be talking about RuneScape 2, though it was the version I spent the most time with. I want to talk about the 2001 to 2004 version, now referred to as RuneScape Classic. Since it's impossible for me to log on to any of the official servers, we're going to access a private server and start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When I started RuneScape all those years ago, I guess I decided that I needed the worst username available. I still use the account sometimes, so I won't show it, but I basically took the class I wanted to be, and when that name was taken, I just replaced some of the letters with numbers to make it totally elite and utterly horrible. What I should have done is use a username generator, which would have spat out something like Tomato Modest. Now there's a heroic name if I've ever heard one. Now marvel at the copious choices of head types, skin colors, and the detailed differences between men and women. For Tomato Modest, I'm gonna go with the tomatoiest face, hair, and, you know, pretty much everything. RuneScape begins with a tutorial taking place on the appropriately named Tutorial Island. There you will learn how to move by pointing and clicking, attack by pointing and clicking, and pretty much everything is done by pointing and clicking, so let's just speed past this part. And now, my friends, welcome to RuneScape as I first knew it. Tomato spawns in a town called Lumbridge, and surprisingly there's another player here, a woman by the name See You Again. We won't be seeing her again. And hey, what's this NPC doing over here? He's giving me the stink eye, or stink dot on his face. Well, it's tomato time. Just a catchphrase I've been working on. Anyway, let's kill the hell out of this dude. Yeah, now this is the RuneScape action I've been looking for. Can you contain your excitement? So the combat doesn't look very exciting. In fact, when I was first playing this game, my friends and I would make fun of it. No matter what you're holding or wearing, the attack animation is just this awkward punching motion. Punching people, punching chickens, punching cows, punching spiders. I mean, I'm punching the air above a rat with an axe hard enough to kill it. And then, once Tomato is killed, the innocent man, he stands directly on his bones, because not even the dead get respect in RuneScape. But attacking isn't the only animation that's weird. In fact, all of the animations in RuneScape are pretty funny. I especially like the animation for when you're walking diagonally. The way Tomato shuffles his feet makes him look like some kind of cheap wind-up toy. A lot of things don't have animations though. If you decide to level up some mining, for instance, you're going to be seeing a lot of thought bubbles with picks above your head. Wait a minute, what was that? I think that was a sound effect. I seem to remember classic RuneScape as a soundless void, almost like it took place in space or something. No music, no sound effects. This isn't a result of the private server either. These sound effects were in the game. If you're like me and don't remember them though, well, that's probably because you weren't a member. The enormous library of 37 whole sound effects was reserved for pay-to-play players, and they probably drew in some big crowds. I mean, who could resist listening to these? especially if you're training a skill and have to sit there doing the same thing over and over again. Skill training seems a little pointless now though. Where there used to be crowds of people buying and selling various items, making skills valuable to learn, now there's just, well, nobody. Leveling up for PvP doesn't really sound fun either. So when nobody else is playing an MMO, what should I do? What goals should I set? At first I just wandered around, seeing all the sights I used to see. The Barbarian Village, Varrock, that road in between the Barbarian Village and Varrock. But Falador is where I would come across an old man by the name of Dr. Smokey. As he worked on leveling up his smithing level, I asked what he would recommend a new player do in the game for fun and adventure. He responded, quests all the way, dude. He also gave me full iron armor and a weapon, so I mean, Dr. Smokey is a-okay in my book. So let's do a quest. Demon Slayer is one of the most memorable quests for me, so I'm gonna tackle that. Tomato is asked to kill a demon by using the incredibly powerful sword Silverlight. The sword is locked away though, and we'll need to obtain 3 keys to get it. Concepts like these are conveyed very quickly though, as it was only possible for NPCs to speak to one person at a time in RuneScape Classic. That would be frustrating in situations like trying to access your bank when there was a crowd of people all trying to talk to the bankers, and newly released quests were hard to complete because so many people would be fighting to talk to the NPCs. So the dialogue isn't great. For the most part, it's pretty short and sweet. In fact, Sir Pryson here even uses some shorthand. But also I'm standing inside of Sir Pryson, which is weird, so I guess I shouldn't judge too much. Pryson is the one who divvied up the keys to Silverlight, a smart move. What wasn't a smart move though is that he somehow managed to drop his key into the drain just outside of the palace kitchen. And instead of trying to retrieve it or asking someone for help, he's just kind of wandering around the castle looking ridiculous in that helmet. To get the key, we just have to pick up a bucket, put water in said bucket, dump it down the drain, and then go get the key in the sewers, easy peasy. The second key is somehow easier peasier though. Captain Robin, another key holder, doesn't need anything from us. We're just like, hey, I need the key to that powerful sword. I promise it's important and I'm not evil. And he's just like, yeah, okay, that sounds right. The last key is a bit of a journey though, as it resides in the hands of a wizard at the wizard's tower. The journey to the tower was long and lonely and left me wondering if I should kill the demon at all. I mean, there doesn't even seem like there's many people to save, just idiots who are handing out keys. Also, there's this bear. It's not super important, but he wouldn't even talk to me. Now, ask yourself, is a world full of self-important, non-conversation having, stupid-faced, dumb idiot bears really worth saving? No, it isn't. But we gotta do it for Dr. Smokey because he upheld the greatest commandment of giving me free stuff. Anyway, Triborn, the horrible name, sealed the key away with a ritual, and the ritual to unseal the key requires 25 sets of bones. So, like a true adventuring, heroic, adventurous hero, I just went outside and killed 25 rats. Luckily for us, for the most part, bones are just bones, kind of like how visually meat is just meat. I mean, can you guess what kind of meat this is? It's chicken. These are like orange chicken T-bones or something. Anyway, with all 3 keys in our possession and our inventory full of chicken steaks, it's time to go get Silverlight and take down Delrith. Unfortunately, the demon is pretty apathetic about Tomato here. He's more interested in just wandering around, like all demons are, I guess. These dark wizards are relentless though. It's hard to actually get near enough to attack him. But after an intense battle, just gonna speed this up here. The demon goes down and the world is saved. Well, myself and Dr. Smokey are saved, I guess. I gotta say, it is weird playing RuneScape now. Not many games that I revisit are this drastically different. It doesn't even feel like the same game. It feels more like I'm wandering through a ghost town, the remains of what used to be. Maybe this is the final resting place for all MMOs, or most online multiplayer experiences. As time passes and the community moves on to other games, or even just updated versions of the same game, this iteration just slowly fades away. RuneScape isn't the best game ever, but it's a game that amazed me at the time. I loved exploring, talking to random people, upgrading my armor. There's a lot of good memories there. Playing it again was a great way for me to recall and appreciate those times, but there's not much more I can say. There's still some players on the official and private servers, and I'm sure they get something out of it. But as for me, once you take the MM out of Memorpaga, I pretty quickly lose interest. interest. I played a bit more, went on a couple of quests, and then logged out, possibly for the final time. RuneScape as a whole still lives on though. RuneScape 2, which is now being called Old School RuneScape, is still supported with new content being voted on by its players. RuneScape 3 is going as well, though most of the changes are a little drastic for me. On the rare occasion that I log in, I usually just stick with leveling fishing, cooking, or magic, my 3 favorite skills since the beginning. As for RuneScape Classic, I suppose it served its purpose, a starting point, a stepping stone to bigger and better things. And just as RuneScape Classic faded off into the distance, I too must fade out, but not before I thank everyone for sticking around and supporting me throughout the years. As I said, this was my 50th episode, and although I still don't feel like I know where I'm going or what I'm doing, I'm happy that so many of you have stuck around to figure it out with me. It really does mean a lot. And now it's time for me to fade out as I said I would. Here I go. I'm fading out now. Bye, everybody. Okay, that was just terrible.